10 minutes. So did Wakefield when they lost here in round 1. Wigan in round 4. 3 games there where they've played. The London side's ability to come from behind, very impressive. They never let their heads drop.
So here we go, Jordan Abdul getting us underway. A big 80 minutes ahead for London and Hull-Kingston Rovers, and Mossy Masoi, who's made such a big impression in his time, his second season with Hull-Kingston Rovers. And Mulhern running it out. Robbie Mulhern back in the front row for Tony Smith tonight. Here is Lewis Johnson on debut. Very highly thought of, very highly rated by Tony Smith, as is Harvey Levett, who will no doubt see off the bench a little later, unable to get into that Warrington starting lineup. We can already see defensively London fierce and fast in the tackle.
Well, very aggressive, aren't they?
Play the ball.
And that's one thing Luke Yates is, the number 20 for London.
Well,
they got a penalty.
Stepping off the mark, not playing the ball properly. You heard Chris Kendall, the referee, saying, get on with it, play the ball. Well, he didn't, and he's been penalised.
Well, Krasnicki's all over him. He goes in. Luke Yates, another player who's very defence orientated, loves to get off the line, loves to whack people, and Joel Tompkins then just letting his guard down and giving a penalty away.
Says, I think Joel Tompkins is attempting to trap the leg in there, and I think the referees saw it, caught him, and blown it accordingly.
So really good chance early on for the Broncos. Krasnicki it was, and here's Eddie Batty. What a servant he's been for the London Broncos. What a player he's been, really has. They go across the line, and chance here for Walker. So dangerous, Phil Clark pointed out, with ball in hand, going through the gaps, and he was nearly fed through there by Morgan Smith. Here is Krasnicki. What a start this would be for Danny Ward if they can get points on the board on the back of that Joel Tompkins penalty. Ball will come via Abdul. Great pickup from Walker. Hall there brings him down. Good defence from Craig Hall. Last tackle close to that Hull-Kingston Rovers try line. Abdul, one of the best in the business.
Down.
Kicking in play, but that was well read there by Adam Quinlan. Good pressure from the London Broncos, but good defence from Hull-Kingston Rovers.
Well, don't they look slick? A team that Danny Ward has put together, refused to spend big when they were promoted to Super League, built on the team spirit that they've had, and getting to grips with this competition, the speed and power. But there's certainly a team that loves that underdog tag, I believe.
Well, there were people at the start of the season who thought that they'd be lucky to win one.
Well, I was one of them. I admit that, really. I thought, and it's remarkable how they've improved as the season's gone on, as Quinlan now looks to find some pace out wide.
Yeah, Crooks and Hall will step inside, but the addition to the Rovers side of Adam Quinlan has already paid rich dividends last week at Warrington. He will play a key part. Both full-backs will. Little chip over the top there by Drinkwater. Well covered by Walker.
Well, we've got 2 players on shore here. Kieran Dixon, who's got hold of the ball, and Craig Hall, who had it for Hull KR last. Lightning quick finishers. In the build-up of this game, we've not really talked about the wingers. You see that Rhys Williams does a lot of work coming away from his own line. Can score a try, but works hard on tackle 1, 2 and 3. So some quality on the edges for both sides.
Good start from both. Here is Elliot Keir. 5 years of Bronco, having every minute of his time in London. Charge forward by Luke Yates, takes play into the Rovers half of the field. On the last, Morgan Smith. That's a good one. It's a high hanger. Pressure there. And it's a penalty against Hull-Kingston Rovers.
Tackled in the air.
Yeah,
Alex Walker, who goes up for it.
Competes well for that, doesn't he?
Tackled.
Never takes his eye off the ball, and Adam Quinlan, shorter in stature than his opposite number, ends up tagging hold of the arm.
Well, interesting. Straight away the decision from the coach. Go for the 2.
Absolutely. And when I was talking to Danny Ward before the game, he said we had a wonderful victory. Getting home on Sunday, the logistics of that, the draining nature of travel, especially when you go to the south of France, means he's only had 2 goals with his team during the week. So fatigue will happen at some point. So it's no surprise to me that any time 2 points are on offer, his team will take it.
You were telling me as well that some of the players suffered sunburn in Perpignan.
That's right, yeah. Although down south it's been pretty hot as well. So
here is Kieran Dixon. Should be simple. Should be 2 points. Should be the lead for the London Broncos. And there we have it. So the decision, the right decision, the penalty against Rovers. And Danny Ward will be happy with the way they've started at London League 2-0.
Well, both coaches will just want the players to go out there and compete, only whether it's for going for the high ball then like Alex Walker did, earning his side a penalty from the infringement from Quinlan. He's a real quality player, an opportunist at the back, isn't he? Linked heavily with Wakefield. He'd be a big loss if he heads north.
I suppose the difficult thing as well is for Danny Ward that, as we know, there's at least 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 of their players have been linked with a move away.
I always say though, so you'd rather people want your players than not want your players, because that means that you're doing something well as well.
And that's just not about the tactics of his side, it's managing the week and spending some time with players. If they are distracted, if they are enticed to go to other teams, making sure they're still focused on the day-to-day work of his side in training and then ultimately performing at weekends. So he seems to be doing an exceptional job, and I said during the week there, if he's not in the conversation for the best coach in Super League at this point, then there's something wrong.
I think if London stay up, he's got to be the coach.
And Martin Offiah will present it. He's already volunteered himself.
Well, Jordan Abdul, he will be key for London tonight. Of course, one of the players who is going, he ironically going to play for Hull Kingston Rovers, back at Hull Kingston Rovers again next year. But here he is, fully committed to the cause to keeping London in Super League. What a high-hanging kick that was. Great take there from Walker. Now the space on that far side, if they can use it. Here is a brilliant run from Ryan Morgan. Morgan just couldn't get the ball out. But Phil Clark and I were talking before. He reckons that as a goal kicker, Ryan Shaw is arguably the best in Super League. And Jordan Abdul in open play is arguably
one of the best
in Super League as well.
Both passer and kicker of the ball. Do you know what? This is only a rough approximation. I watched some of his kicks before the game. The hang time, the ball's in the air for about 5 minutes, which is obviously a long time, but you still need your teammates to make the effort to get under it, which Alex Walker, the fullback, has done on 2 occasions, and alarmingly for Hull KR, on both occasions he's managed to take a clean catch of the ball.
2-0, London in front. Encouraging start for the Broncos, looking to win. 3 on the spin in Super League for the first time since 2012. They beat Salford, they beat Castleford, they thrashed Warrington. 3 on the spin here, of course, would take them off the bottom of the table. Should be easy for Walker, and is a young man who was man of the match in the £1 million game in Toronto. Real grueling arm wrestle when they won by 4 points to 2. They stunned the rugby league world, didn't they, to win promotion to Super League, and my, if they made a real fist of it.
Well, they were incredible in that game. The character that they've got within the side, not many household names, but they're a team that really like to dig in. Look at them all getting on board here, looking to bring the ball away, as far away from the try line as possible. They know that this Hull KR side, they will have the time in good field position and will cause them problems near their own line. David Hughes, the man who spent an awful lot of money down at London promoting the game, well, he's here hoping that his side come away with a valuable win.
That's the 3rd time. I think you mentioned it before, Alex Walker. It's high and hanging from Jordan Abdul, and that Alex Walker competing really heavily with his opposite number.
Well, they really are up and at them, aren't they, in the faces of the Hull Kingston Rovers players when Rovers had the ball. And this has sort of been the signature over the last month or 5 weeks of well, the secret, I guess, of the London Broncos' success.
And the Hull KR players then were very unhappy with the way that one of the Broncos players come diving in at the ankles of a Hull KR player. Lewis Johnson, remembered him when he made his debut last year at the DW Stadium, made 1 game appearance for the for Warrington against the Warriors. He was outstanding.
Yeah, he was terrific, I remember. High kick from Josh Drinkwater. And Walker just letting it bounce, letting it bounce.
Wow.
It bounces the
What a
wrong
kick.
way. And can Dixon get out from behind his own line? No, he can't. Well, it's the old adage about the bouncing ball. And Alex Walker this time, he rolled the dice and it didn't pay off.
Well, he didn't put as much on that kick, didn't Drinkwater. He seemed to be concentrated more on the spiral and the nature of the rugby league ball while it's in flight, and especially when it's bouncing, means you cannot predict where it's going to go. Look at that chase from Hull KR.
Well, that's a 50-50 call for the man at the back. When it bounces the first time, it can either go one way or the other. Don't take any chances there. Get hold of the ball, get back into the field of play. Now all of a sudden you're defending.
I guess it's that old adage, you never ever trust a rugby league ball.
You never know where it's going to go.
Fielded by Quinlan and Mulhern with a chance. This is the best chance I think the Rovers have had so far.
We've
with
had
ball
no
in hand.
field position, have they? And Robin Mulhern, who's playing the ball, led the chase.
Quinlan, well, he was looking there for Hall. It was batted down by Rhys Williams. That'll be another set for Hull Kingston Rovers. Really good opportunity to hit London at the back.
That's a demonstration, isn't it? We'll see this a lot more times. Rhys Williams, the left winger, gets his left hand to the ball, prevents Craig Hall running through. But this, they did it very successfully last week against Warrington, using Quinlan, the fullback, floating and swinging like a pendulum from one side of the field to the other to create the overlap, to create the extra man. But he couldn't find the pass to his teammate.
I'm not mistaken, Quinlan, I think he scored a hat-trick, didn't he, on his debut for St Helens, and he's got a chance here, ball out to the far side, and Ryan Shaw close to that try line. Quinlan is a potent attacking weapon for Shaw and will be tonight for Rovers. Drinkwater back inside for Mulhern, and we now are going to see that grit and determination, that London Broncos defence that we've been talking about so much tonight. Drinkwater misses one out. Great hands here. Quinlan. Well, Crooks trying to get it away, and it looks like it's cost Rhys Williams again. The referee, Chris Williams, there saying that the ball, didn't come off his hands. First knock on Hull Kingston Rovers. Well, it was ambitious and it nearly paid off for them. But London still lead 2-0.
Well, quick hands from Chris Atkin. Then it's this mistake from Ben Crooks. He loses it forward. Does it go into the hands then of Williams?
It's his leg, doesn't it? So he's probably right to play him from that.
Off the thigh. And then picks up, doesn't it?
Well, the first time that the London Broncos defence has been tested, and they passed the test.
Well, you've got to have that ability to soak up the pressure, haven't you, when you're near your try line. A team that has players like Adam Quinlan, Josh Drinkwater, Chris Atkin in the side, they will ask questions. This is one of the players that I love watching, Eddie Batty. I think he was the best player in a London Broncos shirt last year, and the reason why now they're playing in Super League.
And we've seen a good example of the two sides, how they're going to defend. London compressed, willing to leave a player on the edge and in space, and they feel that they're good enough. And Rhys Williams has done it a few times to just disrupt that.
Are we going to have another high kick? This time it's Smith. A lot more time for Adam Quinlan. This time to take the ball, no problem for the fullback. Once he suffered that horrendous knee injury, didn't he? Had to have his knee reconstructed, out for 9 months. But when you want a key player back, it's at the business end of the season, isn't it? When it really matters. And for Hull Kingston Rovers at the moment, it really does matter. And for London Broncos, 12th against 11th, so much at stake. 2-0 London lead.
You've got to admire both of these sides as well. It can't just be 5 carries and get to a kick. They are going out there and they are trying to create some chances.
Well, Quinlan trying to do just that. Kane Lynette back in business. Missed the Warrington win with a neck injury. Drinkwater with a little dink over the top. That'll do nicely. Just keeps London pegged back close to their own try line.
And again, slowing the game down. I talked about the short turnaround for London. But let's not forget that Hull KR, they've had a relatively short turnaround as well. And with players like Josh Drinkwater controlling the pace and the tempo of the game, Tony Smith will look at those first 13 minutes and say, we've done okay. They were always going to come out quick, London, and we've handled what they've thrown at us.
Well, the last two clubs to win promotion to Super League, Hull Kingston Rovers and the London Broncos. Will one of them be relegated in 2019, or are we going to see a huge shock? Are we going to see a Leeds or a Huddersfield or a Wakefield? But certainly all these teams have now been dragged into it, and it's really interesting, isn't it, that the relegation battle just seems to be evolving week by week, and it is going to be a really tense finale to the season down at the bottom of Super League. Here is Abdul and Batty, Smith, good hands this, Walker has got space from Ryan Morgan on the far side. Morgan, who scored 2 tries against St Helens. What a feeling that would have been here a couple of weeks ago. Discarded by Saints, sent out on loan for a year, and he's been a really good pickup for London and for Danny Ward. Abdul again with a teasing kick for Quinlan. Walker looking to challenge, and the referee will say that this time he was offside. Penalty to Hull KR with London still in front.
Well, again, just instead of going for depth on this kick, you can see Walker, who's in the centre of the field, looking to chase up, get around a couple of players. And the referee, Chris Kendall, penalised them for offside. It was a close call.
Wait. Time off. Yes, mate.
2-0. 15 minutes on the clock here in Ealing. Good contingent have come down on a Thursday night from Hull Kingston Rovers, hoping for a precious 2 points, but they trailed 2-0. And Atkin, that was a lovely set play with Tompkins and Quinlan, but brilliantly read, you have to say, by Cunningham and Jay Pitts, the London captain, really was. But again, just
come on.
putting a bit of pressure on now, Hull Kingston Rovers. They miss out Massoy and Drinkwater and Quinlan. Here is Kay Linnett. Good signing he's been for Rovers this year as well. Atkin and Mossy Massoy bouncing off one, bouncing off another, as he did in his St Helens career, as he did in scoring a big try against Warrington last week. Drinkwater with the kick through, and Kieran Dixon taking no chances whatsoever. In the build-up, Drinkwater was practicing those kicks for about 10 minutes.
It's a big strength of his, isn't it, going at the line and kicking the ball through. Ex-London player, had a big influence last year in the success down in the south of France, Josh Drinkwater. They spent the money up at Hull KR to sign him. He is a player that likes to manage his side and play behind a big go forward.
Well, that is the big difference, isn't it? He's trying to build pressure here of his side. London Broncos have put it high, they've taken the gamble that they might get it back, and Hull KR are just gradually chipping away and trying to erode that defensive confidence that the Broncos have got.
Mulhern with the first run. Atkin and Thompson, and here is Lewis Johnson, 20-year-old England academy star. It's interesting, Tony Smith talking to him this week said that the 3 new signings, Murray, Johnson and Liddett, they've energised the squad. Well, so is Adam Quinlan, and Quinlan nearly finding a way through. A really dangerous with ball in hand, as we've seen on a couple of occasions already tonight. Real chance now. Lawler close to that London try line. Mossy Massoy makes the run. And he goes on his own now, Weller Haraki, but he's held on his back. Decided to give it a go, but good defence again from the Broncos.
Well, good work getting numbers in. You can see hurrying, harassing Weller Haraki and not letting him get the ball down.
Here's Drinkwater. Atkin. Well, it didn't come off that time, and Elliot Keir, good job, but Craig Hall.
It's great defence. Great defence, and obviously the willingness then as well to transition to attack. As soon as they picked up the ball, the Broncos, they were looking to find players in space. Really good play, and it's been a hallmark really as the years gone on. They've just got harder and harder to break through. They put the legs in the way, flick up the ball from Pitts to Abdul, and off they go. Do you know, there was a lot of great play by Hull KR. I've been watching for the last 10 minutes particularly. You'll notice that they've started to look dangerous out wide. A lot of that, in my opinion, is because of the work of Chris Atkin. He's now been asked to make a tackle there on Jay Pitts, the number 17 for the Hull KR side in blue. But you watch when they attack, his subtle body movements and passes hold in the London defenders and create time and space for the faster men out wide.
Yeah, I love the kick again there from at Jordan Abdul. Certainly the Hull Kingston Rovers fans know exactly what they're going to get again next year. Jordan Abdul, well, big game, isn't it? And where will Leeds be in the table after tomorrow night? Sky Sports Arena, 7 o'clock for St Helens against Leeds. And then Catalan after their stunning upset defeat at the hands of the London Broncos at home against Hull FC. That was one of the games of the season earlier on, wasn't it? Was it Mark Sneed's drop goal? Oh, what a challenge!
That's Luke Yates. I talked about him earlier on, about how good he is in defence. There's only Danny Houghton who's made more tackles than him. Look at that. Gets underneath. He's got a whack in him, hasn't he?
I think Matty G lends his weight. Great to watch. Lifts the player, knocks him off his feet.
Good defence again from Cunningham, one of the smallest on the field against the biggest on the field in Mossy Massoy. That's a 40-20 attempt there from Drinkwater, but well read by Kieran Dixon. He's got pace to burn. We've seen Dixon score 1 or 2 length of the field tries on this ground this season. Of course, Dixon played at Wembley, didn't he, for Hull Kingston Rovers? You may remember when they lost the cup final to Leeds Rhinos.
What about that try he scored against Wigan? An intercept try that got him the win, 18 points to 16. Probably shocked everybody, didn't he, in Super League? No one expected him to get that result.
To come into Super League and to beat Wigan and to beat Leeds and to beat St Helens.
Phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah. Here's Abdul going the short side. Great pass here for Williams. Williams still going. Beats one, beats another. It's Atkin who's in there with the tackle. Crooks in to help. Tompkins in to help. But he has so much strength, doesn't he, Rhys Williams? Good run. Kieran dummy half and Abdul and Smith it is who'll test Adam Quinlan, and Quinlan has been tested a lot. The ball goes backwards. It's picked up by Hall. But they are piling the pressure on Adam Quinlan.
Well, they're putting an awful lot on him, aren't they? Because he's not the biggest, Adam Quinlan. Yeah, he gets up high, he runs and jumps as high as he can, but you've got someone like Sir Alex Walker who's 6'2". That is always going to be a decent competition and a target for London.
At the moment, the battle of the fullbacks, Alex Walker is winning. As we said, Quinlan with ball in hand.
Absolutely, yeah.
Is that's where we're going to see him.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the reason that Hull KR find Craig Hall. Craig Hall is a finisher. He's not necessarily a provider. And Adam Quinlan, as we'll see shortly, when he gets his hand on the ball, makes good decisions as a pivot.
Tommy Lee is on the field. Here is Kane Lynette. Tommy Lee, who missed a stack full of games, fell out of favour under Tim Sheens, but recalled to the squad by Tony Smith. Midway inside the Broncos half, on the last, and Atkin directing the kick downfield, but probably the poorest kick of the game. We've seen some decent kicks in play, but that one going dead. So a 7-tackle set for London, who still lead. 22 minutes gone by 2 points to 0.
Well, there's not going to be much in this game. Come 80 minutes, I don't think, Stuart. And both sides will look to do the hard work early on, then let the ball work as there's an injury here.
It is surprising, though, Terry, isn't it? These two teams, when you look at the number of points they've both conceded this year, that a quarter way through this game, we've still only got 2 points, not a single try. I suppose both of them are aware. There's a heightened awareness amongst these teams. I hope Kieran Dixon's going to be okay. He's treated by the physiotherapist. Is there a whiplash type injury here as his head goes to ground? But these sides, so it's twisted here now. Tommy Lee gets his body in an awkward position. There's nowhere really for his head to go. It's pushed forward there in an awkward set situation.
Just talking about the battle at the bottom, I remember only 3 or 4 weeks ago we were talking, I think, with Barry, saying how many points will be enough to stay up, and we're sort of saying around about 16. It may be 20 points
I
now
agree, and
to stay in Super League.
There's a lot of teams involved in that trapdoor, as it was termed a few years ago, but I'm not surprised there isn't that many points, because there's such a lot on this game, and everybody realises there's plenty of rugby league. What we've got, round 19, so we've got plenty of rugby league still to be played. but it's an important psychological game, this one. So we've got one team in Hull KR trying not to lose, and we've got another team in the London Broncos for the first time in as far as I can remember this year. They start as favourites, not underdogs.
Well, 4 points between Salford in 6th and London at the bottom. That's how close it is. Cunningham. Picked up there by Luke Yates, just about.
They just got sloppy for the first time there, the Broncos. The ball on the previous play to Abdul didn't happen. They get to the last tackle, can they turn a bad set into a positive one?
Yeah, Morgan Smith with another really tough kick. This time it is Craig Hall who'll come for it, watch it all the way. Good take from Craig Hall, who's just agreed a new contract with Hull Kingston Rovers. Reward for his efforts over the last season and a half.
Wait, go. Jordan, not square.
He's one of those players, isn't he, Craig Hall, that can be anything. Going to this game as well, the game's all about confidence. So for London, they beat Saints a couple of weeks ago. Then they backed it up with a decent performance and got the result against Catalan. Since Tony Smith's come back into the game, they were beaten by Wigan by 2 points. And obviously they got that great result last week against Warrington. So both of these sides will be pretty confident.
Well, drink water again it is. They're just taking the pace out of the game.
He's controlling this game for me, Just Drinkwater. Whenever they get in good field position and having a little look, you'll notice he's running across the field, dropping players off, trying to set field position, and then he's at the third time he's gone for touch, just trying to control that tempo.
Two contrasting styles or tactics, aren't they, when they get to the end of the set, what to do with a kick. One team want to kick it, let it roll over the side. They want to kick it high in the air and contest, challenge their opponents to demonstrate some skill. Time will tell which one's successful tonight.
I'll tell you what, I mean, the two worst defences in Super League. Hull KR now conceded 505 points, London 485, but defences have been terrific so far.
Heightened sense, isn't there? They're aware of this game. There's been a lot of talk in the build-up. Batino bounces through a few tackles. And you're right, very few missed tackles for either team in the opening 20-plus minutes.
Elliot Keir, the Welshman. Yeah, defence is very much on top, but very intense. For sure, here is Nathan Mason, 6'6" of him. He'll be a handful for Hull Kingston Rovers. Dixon trying to play the ball quickly. Across it goes again for Smith. And Abdul bringing Walker into it. Walker with a long pass out, well taken by Reece Williams. Has to cut inside as a sea of blue comes over to bring him down. Hall and Tompkins and Daniel Murray, who's on for his Hull KR debut. Abdul again trying to tease that Hull Kingston Rovers defence. Again, it's taken up well by Walker. Now can we get the ball out from Morgan to Dixon. Dixon with the kick through, and it's Morgan Smith who will score for Hull Kingston Rovers. Well, the try out of nothing, but it came from Abdul.
Ben, it is tackled.
Is it the first try?
We've got a try.
Chris Campbell says
Just checking
yes.
he's onside from the kick
We
through,
think
Ben.
yes, but the video referee, Ben Thaler, will decide.
What about the play from Walker when he gets the ball nice and controlled? He gets the one-arm offload away. Look at this again. The lads have talked about the strength of his kicking game, Jordan Abdul. He is a quality player. Again, the man who's chasing it up is the man who's got it, Walker. One-armed offload. It goes out wide. And then is Morgan Smith. Is he behind Kieran Dixon?
I think he's in front.
The touches is in a great position to tell, isn't it? He's
Yeah,
looking directly across. They're not more than 15 metres from him.
The call's gone up as a try as well, hasn't it?
Well, I think this angle proves that he's actually behind the kick there. You can also see Tusher's right in line. Certainly as the ball's been given, the try's been given on the field, I don't think there's anything there that you can show that overrules that on-field call.
Well, Kieran Dixon, well, he scores some tries, doesn't he? He's got some skill. He knows his way how to get over that try line. What about this from a kick from him, the winger?
I did feel he was offside in live play, but it goes up as a try. There's not enough evidence to disallow it, and London Broncos first to get the 2 points of the game and the first try of the game.
That's the key. There has to be clear-cut evidence to overturn the referee's decision.
Sufficient evidence. There has to be sufficient evidence.
And there isn't. This is going to be a try. And it's going to be the first try for Morgan Smith in a London Broncos jersey. Crucial time and a crucial game. He was the hero with the Golden Point drop goal to beat St Helens. Will he be a hero tonight?
Well, Jordan Abdul again showing his hand, that attacking kick for Walker. Nice composure from Walker to get that offload away. And what about that kick? Kieran Dixon, when he kicks the ball, he kicks it into the ground, hoping it's going to bounce up, and it goes into the hands of Morgan Smith, a hot property as a 16-year-old kid, played for England Academy, and he benefits from the class of the winger Dixon.
The amount of times we've seen that from Alex Walker, that's not something he's turned up with the game. He's been told by his coach to adopt that approach. Good game plan from Danny Ward.
Kieran Dixon, this time wide with the kick, so a 6-0 lead it is for London. But yeah, I mean, we've seen it time and time again. Alex Walker is first to every single kick.
Fantastic piece of skill. The other thing, if you look at all of the London Broncos tries this year, it's a familiar pattern. Last tackle and kick. That happens often. It was again the situation there. It was the last tackle, it came from a kick, and Hull KR need to do better.
Hall with the kick-off, and here's Batty. He'll never give a single inch. Eddie Batty, incredible for a prop forward, has missed just one match in the last 2 seasons.
Got a great engine as well, Eddie Batty, looking for work. I turned up to this game looking forward to Rob Mulhern and Eddie Batty, both wearing number 8, both fit players and fierce competitors.
Yeah, we've seen that already. Good stuff from Cunningham. He scored a terrific individual try in the win over St Helens on the stroke of half-time, which kind of turned it in favour of the London Broncos. Here he is again, busy at dummy half, and the try scorer, Morgan Smith, will again put pressure on Quinlan. Walker, well, do you know what? He was first to it once again.
100% that is the game plan, isn't it, from Walker? The kicks aren't going to the corners like we normally see teams kick into the corners, trap them in, get your defence nice and solid and tight. It's midfield kicks.
So do you know what Hull KR have got to do? They've got to make themselves available. And they can't give penalties away, but make it awkward for Alex Walker to get there and take some time away from the kickers.
Is there a case? Is there a thought of maybe moving Ryan Hall to full back for a last tackle
No,
play?
because of the reasons we've already spoken about. There are other ways to combat that tactic, and it's putting pressure on the kickers and making yourself an obstacle legally, so you take some time away from Alex Walker.
Well, here he is. If he is going to be playing for Wakefield Trinity next year, as the rumours are true, he's going to be a huge miss here in London.
Yeah, it'll be a massive miss, won't it? The back three, there's the third one now in Rhys Williams. They go hard at the line, pull up those defenders. See, like, Rhys Williams so hard to handle. Durable player, didn't miss a game for 4 years. Here it is, Nathan Mason. This is what you want from your bench, the big impact, the go forward.
And Abdul in for Jay Pitts.
Move, Tommy!
On the last 6-0. 10 minutes or so to go in this first half. Abdul, brilliant from Abdul, terrific defence from Quinlan, but it looks like Walker's going to find a way through, is he? Well, was that a knock on? It may well have been batted down in defence there by Drinkwater. Livette was in there as well. It's going to be a London scrum, but Abdul was nearly through. Brilliant tackle from Quinlan, and then Walker was nearly through.
Well, that's what Hull KR are getting next year, aren't they? The skill of Jordan Abdul, who can look up, he can see what's in front of him, recognise what he needs to do. Look at that, he changes his mind. All of a sudden he thinks, no, there's nobody behind, I'm going to kick it through. Look for the offload, again, nice and controlled. Walker there, in support. They go for the offload and hit by Drinkwater.
He's kicked it 1 metre. Yeah. He's kicked it just past the defender, who's not allowed to tackle, and then picked it back up.
Clever play.
Looks like it's cheating.
Mason, 6-0. Can London double up here? Cunningham it is at dummy half. They come to this left-hand side. Luke Yates looking for a way through to the try line. You think with 9 minutes or so to half-time, really important moments in this game.
4. Move, Tommy!
Right on that try line. Cunningham will come to the left for Abdul. Abdul and Pitts. Pitts well wrapped up though by Hall and by Crooks. Really good defence. They've managed to keep them out. They've got one more play to survive. What's Abdul got up his sleeve? Ball goes inside. It's a high tackle there on Luke Yates.
High tackle.
Well, again,
It was a high tackle.
you feel that the high tackle and the penalty will mean a 2-pointer. Is it going to be a penalty? It looks like Dixon's going to go for the 2. Ben Crooks with a high tackle.
Well, the inside pressure, wasn't it, from Ben Crooks, who gets out, looks to get at Luke Yates. And Jordan Abdul looking to tip the ball back inside instead of kicking it. Well, there was pressure there. Illegally, says the referee. Chris Kendall, straight in front of him, the penalty awarded.
You know, ball players need willing runners, guys to run hard and strong around them. And if you ask Jordan Abdul there now, he had that brilliant option of Luke Yates on the inside. If I was critical of his first 25 minutes, he didn't run with the ball often enough. He kicked it and he passed it. He's almost, whether the words come from the sideline, he listen, let's take on the opponents. He's a powerful player. He seems to have lost weight and got fitter this season. And he's leading his team here probably to an 8-point advantage.
Dixon kicked one, missed one. And it is an 8-point advantage for the London Broncos approaching the closing stages of this first half. And you have to say, deservedly in front.
They're feeling the pressure, aren't they, Hull KR? That last tackle from Ben Crooks is a typical example of doing something that's not your job. You could see when we watched the replay, caught in front of 2 players. By the time he gets there, he's lunging, he ends up round the head and gives the penalty away. Do your job really well under pressure. That's what Tony Smith will be reinforcing to his side.
Well, of course, tonight it's all about the battle to stay in Super League. On Saturday, it's about the scrap to win a place in Super League. The top 2, Toronto and Toulouse. Saturday, 6 o'clock, Sky Sports Arena.
Go to, play on, that's fine.
3 strong carries.
He is.
First of all, it was Butler, then Mason, then Yates.
Yates has been really good, hasn't he?
4.
Elliot Kerr. Jordan Abdul and Cunningham. Mason, strong runner. Former Waterhead amateur in Oldham, Nathan Mason. Another high kick.
There you go.
A penalty, it's got to be a penalty.
But that's the tactic.
There we go.
Well,
if he scores now, they'll
could
go
be in
back.
trouble because Shaw's away. Has he got the leg? Dixon can't bring him down. Terrific opportunity here for Ryan Shaw.
Should have been a penalty at the other end.
Well, it's really interesting this because, well, was it taken 1-on-1 in the tackle by Ryan Morgan?
I thought he got that then, Stuart.
Ryan Morgan 1-on-1 in the tackle. Well, drama here, and we've got a touch of controversy as well. Was Alex Walker obstructed in front of the Hull KR post, and now Rovers looking with Drinkwater, the ball close to that London try line. Harvey Levette brought down. It's Lee, Drinkwater and Atkin and Quinlan. Quinlan wriggles out of one tackle, brought down by Jay Pitts. 8-0 London lead. Great opportunity here for Hull Kingston Rovers. Lawler on the last. Can they find a way, finally? A little kick through there. Now, is that a try for Weller Haraki? The referee says it is. Well, from one end of the field to the other. Should London Broncos have had a penalty? That's what they're saying to the referee, Chris Kendall. It matters not here because Rovers are finally on the board through Weller Haraki. A bit of controversy, a bit of drama in this relegation scrap for survival.
Well, we talked about what they had to do, Hull KR. They needed to put bodies in front of their fullback when a high kick goes up. Everybody's chasing. You can see there's a check there. There's an obstruction there from Josh Drinkwater. No doubt about that. The referee has missed it. Here's the potential strip. 1-on-1, Ryan Morgan takes that, but Ryan Shaw has it handed back to him. Now, this is a wonderful kick and a committed chase from Wella Haraki on the end of it. Tommy Lee, all the intelligence and experience in the world, puts it in the end goal and trusts his back rower to catch it and put it down.
Well, he does his job, doesn't he, Tommy Lee? He gets there, he knows he can kick the ball, and maybe a couple of calls have gone against London. And the referee surrounded by those London Broncos players, but they've just got to get on with the job.
Ryan Shaw then. 8-0 down, could be a 2-point ball game with 4 minutes to go in the first half. And there it is, 8-6, but certainly a couple of controversial calls and a couple of controversial decisions, Stuart.
Well, the referee's opinion was that Josh Drinkwater got in that position first and is entitled to be there. Probably was just a little sideways movement towards the end. And then at the other end, they felt that the tackle was complete and the ball was never stolen. Even though it was in the other person's hand, there's 2 people still hold of it. So, quite rightly, that should be Hull KR's ball.
Were they looking for an onside offside from Wella Haraki's run there? Because as we've watched it a couple of times, might have been a question mark on that. It doesn't matter. The game goes on and Hull KR have got back
That was Rob Butler. Wow. The 21-year-old, look at this now, they're firing him.
Yeah.
Come on then, Hull KR. Who wants to carry this one?
Well done, Josh Drinkwater for getting up.
Oh, well, as soon as you can see that ball coming to him, he's trying to drop down as quick as he can.
Well, it's how you react to an injustice or what you perceive to be an injustice. London unhappy with those decisions. They've certainly struck back here with a positive impression and a mistake now from Haraki.
It says mistake from Haraki, but this is fierce. It's ferocious. And it's just what you'd expect for a game of this importance.
Well, physical. Tommy Lee turning around to his teammates saying, 1 set. We've got to defend 1 more set here. Well, Haraki making the mistake, but some intent in those tackles, wasn't there, from the Broncos?
Well, I've watched both of you in your careers. I don't think you'd have got anywhere near that kickoff to make that challenge. Both of you far too slow to get that.
If it was underneath it would have been shouting yours.
Well played, Josh Drinkwater, for getting up those straight away.
Well, bravery that, wasn't it? Because he knew what was going to happen when Rob Butler, sorry, got to him.
2 minutes to go to half-time. Again, very important moments. Jay Pitts for the London Broncos. What a servant he's been, the club captain. Can London hit straight back? What a terrific game this is. Smith and Walker and Morgan. Has he got a way through here, Ryan Morgan? Good defence again from Rovers. Lidette making the tackle. Kieran Dixon. Here it comes with Smith. Little kick through, looking for Abdul. That was brilliantly read by Craig Hall. He knew exactly what they were going to do, and he positioned himself perfectly.
Well, he's a good player at the back, isn't he, Craig Hall? He knows exactly what he's got to do, what his job is. He's got to mop up round the back. Ben Crooks coming in, trying to speed up those play the balls. A good play the ball as well. Easy to roll forward onto this. But again,
huge hit.
Jay Pitts. Well, that's how you'd inspire your teammates.
Well, this time it's the other halfback, Chris Atkin, who's bearing the brunt. But certainly London fired up. They feel an injustice from that whole KR try, but it's a great watch, and I'm afraid it's not a great play by Daniel Murray, because he lost the ball. Last minute of the half is the time for London to do anything.
Of course there is, because this London side can conjure up things, but you would not believe that this is a game between the 2 bottom sides in the division.
That's the last 2 sets now that Hull KR have had the ball. They've made 2 mistakes on the back of strong, aggressive defence.
Head in.
Well, thoroughly enjoyable first 40 minutes here, and you know, with so much on the line, so much at stake, and both sides have given so much, haven't they, in this first half. 2 points in it. We expected it to be close.
Do you think Jordan Abdul will line up for 1 point? Remember last week, Leeds against Wigan, Sam Powell going for that 1 point just before half-time.
We'll give it one more go, maybe. Smith it is, but they take it wide instead, and time is ticking away. Maybe a couple of more plays. He was practicing drop goals from halfway in the warm-up at Jordan Abdul. Here is Nathan Mason, and Abdul is He's back, isn't he? They're going to give it a go. This will be the last play of the first half. Well, they're going to run it instead. No drop goal. They're going to go for the try. Keir, though, can't get the ball out. He does, off the floor, just one-handed, out of the back. And Abdul here, and now Walker. Walker running across the line, but again does really well. This is brilliant, this. Great hands. Dixon looking for a way through, but eventually all wrapped up by Harvey Ledet. And what a thrilling end to what's been a thrilling half of rugby. London in 12th place. Hull Kingston Rovers in 11th. Just 2 points between them at the end of the first half. London, of course, looking to get themselves off the bottom of the Super League table. And Danny Ward must be thrilled with what he's seen in this first half. Really, really good half. Physical. It's been fast. It's been furious. And it's been a great watch. And London lead at half-time, 8-6.
Well, England with 4 wins in the tournament thus far have Owen Morgan past fit to take on Sri Lanka. That's 10 a.m. Sky Sports Cricket World Cup tomorrow. Saturday, India expected to make it 4 wins as they take on Afghanistan. 10 a.m. Sky Sports Cricket World Cup. And on Sky Sports Mix at 1 p.m. on Saturday, West Indies take on the undefeated New Zealanders. Right, it's round 19 of the Betfred Super League. We are at Ealing Trailfinders in West London, where the home side, the Broncos, have a narrow 2-point lead over Hull Kingston Rovers in a relegation battle. London sitting in 12th at the moment, Hull KR in 11th, but so little to choose between these sides. Let's have a look at the first half match statistics, and the one that stands out is a completion rate of 88% for London Broncos. 69% for Hull Kingston Rovers. London with the majority of the possession. I dare say much of that was coming off their own line as Hull Kingston Rovers stretched them on both sides of the field. Right, Tony Ray joining me here in studio. Before we have a look at the first half action, Tony, the game has lived up, I would suggest, the first 40 minutes to this billing as perhaps the most compelling game of the round.
Yeah, they sure have shown up, both these sides, haven't you? It's a real, every inch, every sinew and every muscle out there has been squeezed out of both these teams, and they've aimed up. They're really playing a high-quality game. You highlighted the completions of London. They've got a plan, they're driving forward, they're kicking high, and they're competing on every play. And Hull KR are matching them.
Perhaps with so little to choose between the sides, it's no surprise maybe that Kieran Dixon decided to kick for 2 early in the first half.
Yeah, and we watched the coach's box beside us really clearly straight away going for 2, so they know just to keep accumulating points, keep working their way down there, because they need moments like this. A fantastic one. This pass about to come out under the legs here from Alex Walker was a real money ball, and then the presence from Kieran Dixon there to drop the ball inside. Smith was wandering down the inside, perfectly placed, and that was a real crucial try.
Dixon unable to convert that. He did, though, tag on a penalty 7 minutes later to make it 8-0.
Yeah, psychologically important, that one.
London will feel hard done by in this instance. Tony,
look under the goalpost. Look at the black jersey under the goalpost chasing through. Is he interfered with right there? Absolutely he is. That's a penalty to London every day of the week. Should be 10-0 with a couple of minutes to play. What happens is Hull KR make a break. They go all the way downfield. Fair play, though. From that point on, you just got to compete. We've seen the London players and the Hull KR players chasing back, trying to get as much as they can. We were talking on the sideline, weren't we, saying just let him score.
Let him score the try, assume the referee is going to go back and get it checked, and then it would be, as you say, disallowed. But Weller Haraki, Johnny on the spot for a Tommy Lee kick, a smart Tommy Lee kick.
Wonderful try. They're going downfield. They kept their composure under this pressure, got off the hook a little bit, got down there. Terrific play by those two.
All right, we can go to John Wells now for his take on that first half. John, a first half in which London were stretched by Hull Kingston Rovers, but responded when under pressure.
Yeah, they did. It was an exceptional first 40 minutes. I think really high quality from both sides. I'm on player watch at half-time tonight, or position watch rather. First of all, I'm going to have a look at Adam Quinlan. Second game back, remember, for Hull Kingston Rovers. Just how dangerous this man is. He's having coming across from the opposite side of the ruck here. We've picked him up for you. at the end of the play, there's probably something a little bit different he could have. But look how flat that trajectory is. You just look at that point there, you feel the ball, as Craig Hall does, should have gone out here. So an early opportunity missed. But this is more to show you the industry and the creative threat that he poses. Have a look again, in between two players. This is a move that we've seen from Quinlan quite a lot. He's able to get himself through those small spaces, well defended by the Broncos. Again, look at the change of direction on the catch here, avoiding the attempted tackle from Kieran Dixon, and very nearly gets through himself as well. But for every bit of threatening play that Adam Quinlan came up with, I think his opposite number in the London Broncos shirt stood up on many, many occasions. We'll pick up the try, Morgan Smith's try. We'll just take this on and I'll show you. Alex Walker, for the third time this was, underneath a high ball and challenging, and then manages to recycle the balls. A really interesting bit here from Morgan Smith. Once the ball goes out to Kieran Dixon, who's going to put a kick in here. So Kieran Dixon's in. Morgan Smith feels like he might be straying offside. Keep your eyes closely on Morgan Smith. Have a look at what he does in the build-up to this. He stops, checks his run, skirts, and then gets himself back onside. Didn't pick that up in the original part of the play. I thought it was exceptional play from Morgan Smith, but I think those two fullbacks, if this game's going to be decided by inches, I think it's going to be inches created by one of those two players, Brian.
Very good, John. Thank you very much. There is so little to choose between these sides. As they stand now, London are 12th on the table, Hull Kingston Rovers 11th. They've both scored 57 tries this season. London have conceded 89, Hull Kingston Rovers 90. There is just 3 points between them on the table. How does this second half unfold?
It's going to be intriguing because a lot of it was about London's kicking game as they got themselves downfield and went high into the wind. The ball really hung up, and so Walker, taller player, was reaching out over the top of Quinlan with the wind behind them. It's going to be really intriguing. Do London continue to go high? Will they go to corners? Will look to run the ball late on? But it's just a really hard game to call at the moment.
John's pointed out there with Quinlan, they were challenging London, stretching them. They do look, I mean, you made the point, they look fatigued. You've watched them plenty of times this year. They do look fatigued. They turn up, though, for 80 minutes, so it's perhaps misleading when you look at the body language of London. Still got plenty in the tank. Yeah,
I think they're gone all the time. It's probably emotional London in me going behind them. But having said that, after about 25 minutes, Hull KR still looking tired. You know, we saw Quinlan wrapping around the back. It tired him. He's only been back a couple of weeks, you know, so they were trying to play wide, but they were running out of puff. So sometimes working in a new system can really tire you.
Pre-game, you went with the Hull Kingston Rovers win. I'll give you the chance to change.
I'll stay with them for the moment.
All right. Tony Ray says it's Hull Kingston Rovers who will overturn this 2-point half-time deficit. London Broncos, though, in the box seat in this relegation battle to kick off round 19 of the Betfred Super League here in West London. Stuart Pike and the boys standing by the other side of this break to take you through this finely poised second 40 minutes.
Well, a big weekend of Super League and Championship action on Sky Sports, but also huge games down under. Tomorrow, the Women's State of Origin were on the air at 10:40 on Sky Sports Arena. And then on Sunday, Game 2, live from Perth, Queensland 1-up in the series. Can Brad Fittler's New South Wales take us to a decider? If they can, Game 3 will be in Sydney on Wednesday, July the 10th. All those games on Sky Sports Arena. Here, a fantastic first half. London just with the ends. The bottom two battling it out. 8-6 to the Broncos. 40 minutes, a huge 40 minutes ahead in the destiny of the season for both Hull Kingston Rovers and the London Broncos. So Craig Hall to get us underway. And in the end, it was a good take, wasn't it, by Dixon. Well done high on Nathan Mason. It was all right from Wella Haraki, the Rovers try scorer. 8-6.
Was high. It must be around the throat there. He got up reaching.
Wait. Go.
Just to recover. Doesn't complain and London play on.
Oh, Abdul, a show and go. He was nearly through, but he's been a real tricky customer for Hull Kingston Rovers, his former club, and of course the club he'll be joining in 2020. Elliot Keir. Here is Abdul again, the run forward from Rob Butler. What a story Rob Butler is, the 21-year-old signed from the Medway Dragons, who are based in Gillingham in Kent. And it just goes back to what the boys were saying before about how London are really trying to develop talent in the London and the South East. But Rob Butler's been a big hit for them, for sure.
Well, he certainly got a few big hits away in the first half, didn't he? And they do a tremendous job down at Medway Dragons. Look at this London side, they're looking to branch out, get local players playing the game. And the likes of Rob Butler, who comes through the system, he will certainly inspire the next generation down in Gillingham.
And Danny Wall, let's not forget, began his coaching career coaching the academy, the under-19s. So knows the value of bringing a player through the system. I always think that a player that's come through a system at club has an ingrained loyalty and a commitment to the cause.
Good take from Quinlan. Is Kane Linnett. Quinlan will try and get the ball away quickly. Drinkwater and Walla Haraki.
And it wouldn't surprise me if Tony Smith's simple message was to run harder, because in the first half, on an enthusiasm scale, you'd have to give it to the London side. Here there's more movement with the players and moving at pace.
Oh, Linnett trying to find a way through and does. Danger here for London. Ball inside for Quinlan. Back to Quinlan from Levett. What a start to the second half for Hull Kingston Rovers. Terrific hands down this left-hand side. They caught London cold, but it was Quinlan. Then the move from Kane Linnett. Rovers time to celebrate, and Hull KR, thanks to Adam Quinlan, hit the front for the first time in this huge relegation scrap.
Well, when the ball goes over to Hull KR's left, they're looking to line up Kane Linnett on Morgan Smith. He can't bring the big man down, but when he goes through the line, I like what Adam Quinlan does. He doesn't panic. You just look at him here. He's supporting his support play when he delivers that pass to Kane Linnett. The big see you later in Smith's face. Nice hands, draws in Walker, stays alert to the ball coming back from Levett. Nice play.
This is outstanding support play from Hull KR, but we talked in the first 10 minutes or so about the compression in the defence of London Broncos. They're prepared to leave a player on his own unmarked, and on that occasion Hull KR didn't find him but used it as a foil, and that's the reason Kane Linnett went through that gap.
Well, he kicked a winning conversion off the touchline to beat Warrington last weekend. Ryan Shaw to extend the Rovers' advantage. Well, that's a beauty, absolute beauty from Ryan Shaw. He is one of the best, certainly in the business, kicking goals in Super League, and Adam Quinlan has proved himself in the last couple of weeks one of the best poachers in the business, scoring tries. Well, Rovers lead by 12 points to 8. I'm sure Tony Smith will have been saying go out and make a very strong and take the game to London in the second half. That's fine, exactly what Tony Smith and Danny Ward had to say. Here's Jenna.
Yeah, thanks, Stuart. Danny Ward said that he wanted more of the same. He really didn't want to change too much, just for them to keep competing. I asked him if he thought that Walla Haraki's try should have been given. He smiled and said that it looked all right to him and he wasn't going to complain. As far as Tony Smith goes, well, he was a little frustrated. He said Hull KR were being too conservative and they needed to play more rugby league if they are to challenge these kind of teams on these kind of surfaces, and they certainly did take that on board, didn't they?
They did. What a start. Tony Smith, you saw a glimpse there with his big mate Stuart Pearce, but they made the perfect start and they lead 12-8.
Well, when Tony Smith, there we see a tackle from Jordan Abdul, just ends up upending Harvey Levett, and the referee's happy enough to just blow the penalty, assess the situation. Dangerous tackle on Daniel Murray, should I say. Number 36 for Hull KR, but when Tony Smith talks about his side playing more, he means more passes, support the ball carrier, and make defenders have to work. We saw at the back end of the first half, Hull KR getting dished up, getting dealt with, out-muscled, and that's because they were running into 2 or 3 defenders, 1 out carries with no support runners.
Oh, Murray's through a gap now. This is danger, and guess who's there to score? It's Atkin under the post, and back-to-back tries for Hull Kingston Rovers, who've exploded out of the traps in this second half. 2 tries in 3 minutes. First Quinlan, then Atkin, and this game has been turned on its head.
By a little bit of energy, players putting themselves in a position to accept the ball, and then when that ball carrier has an option, and a risk is only a risk if you view it that way. Hull KR are looking at it now as opportunities to get through the line, break that line, and post points. Chris Atkin putting the pass in and then supporting the play. He goes across the field, midfield. The London Broncos defenders aren't at any point expecting that ball to be passed. But as soon as Daniel Murray has it, he goes through the line, composes himself and finds the support player.
Well, line up your big players on the smaller ones. They did that in the first try in the second half when Kane Linnett went through and got rid of Morgan Smith, and Chris Atkin playing at the line, puts Murray through, then supporting. Big start, quick start from Tony Smith's men.
Well, Ryanshaw won't miss this one, and it's going to be 12 points in just 3.5 minutes for Hull Kingston Rovers. They were 8-6 down at half-time. In fact, they were 8-0 down, and they've scored 18 unanswered points.
Well, I was a fan of Chris Atkin when I first saw him play for Swinton, but I thought he was almost invisible in that first 40. He's got himself more involved, and he's come up with a good try there, one that his side needed. The 2 hallmarks for me for the last 2 Rovers tries are the numbers of players in blue shirts who are moving at pace with real interest in the ball, and just look what that does to a defensive side.
Well, it's 3 tries in give or take 10 minutes either side of half-time, and that could be, and it's turning out to be, a good defence, that good chase from London, but that pivotal moment, that try from Wella Haraki just before half-time. Was that played up? It was. Chris Kendall said it came off a London hand, so 6 to go. Well, they've certainly heeded Tony Smith's advice to have a go and throw the ball around.
Well, he's got an awful lot of experience, hasn't he, Tony Smith? You can see. Well, the ball come off Ryan Morgan. Yeah, another set of 6. Wella Haraki. And getting through the defensive line.
Well, it just goes to show, doesn't it? I mean, we all praise London Broncos defence in that first half, but a couple of missed tackles later, and it's a different ball game, and a couple of breaks from Kane Linnett later, and at the moment, Hull Kingston Rovers are running all over the London Broncos. Here's Drinkwater. They're looking to make it back-to-back tries here. Hull Kingston Rovers, a 10-point advantage at the start of this second half, and they have flown out, haven't they? Here is Lawler looking for a way through. The introduction of Tommy Lee certainly made a difference, didn't it, in the first half? And here he is at Drinkwater towards the corner. Dixon does well, but then puts the ball down. Hits the corner flag, and the referee will say it did come off a Rovers hand, and it's going to be a tap on the 20. Dixon may have got away with that one.
Well, Hull KR, they seem to be attacking the line with real pace, don't they? The forwards are doing their job. They're getting into decent field position to kick the ball well.
There's the sub, Mark Ioane, who's just come on now to try and make a difference. London were in a similar position when they played at Leeds back in round 6. They were 16 points to 8 behind at that stage, came back to win the game, and Hull KR, you can tell with their interest here now. They know they can't allow the Broncos another look back in this game. They need to maintain that intensity that they played with their attack, now in their defence.
On the other side of the coin, the way that Rovers have started, you feel here that London has to score next.
Yeah, totally agree. The way that they started the game, that's what they need to have, that same focus. Jordan Abdul, the man who's got the ball now, he needs to keep on getting his hands on that ball as much as possible.
Good take from Shaw. Watch the ball all the way there.
So why would you kick to Shaw in the first half of the game plan? They were having an awful lot of joy going at Quinlan. Why would you change something that worked for you in the first half?
12 points in 3 minutes, give or take, at the start of this second half. Hull Kingston Rovers, by the way, have lost their last 5 away games. Just 1 win away from home this season, and that came at Wakefield. Danny Maguire try, if I'm not mistaken, was the key on that occasion. The tries from Haraki, Quinlan and Atkin either side of the half-time. At the moment, and winning this game. Walker, good take from the kick from Drinkwater.
Well, the first 10 minutes in this second half, Hull KR are controlling the speed of the play of the ball. They've got the field position that they want. Look at that. Again, good defensive line coming up on Dixon. He gets rid of Drinkwater, but he can't beat short.
Hold, go to. Play on, that's 2. Third.
There's a different attitude here from Hull KR.
Come on, Matt.
Matty Fozzard's on for London Broncos now.
Going for a 40-20 here. Jordan Abdul, what a fantastic kick. That was more like a 50-20, a 55-20. What a kick.
Well, I said he needed to get his hands on the ball. And one of his first big plays in the second half is kicking that 40-20. What have they got now in this set of 6?
Well, that was brilliant. That was absolutely superb. Ioane for the London Broncos, close to that try line. Perfect time for them to hit back. Fozzard, and here is Smith. Smith with a little dummy, looks for a way through, tries to put the kick through, does put the kick through. He managed to get it away. And Alex Walker with the try, no doubt there. Clever play from Morgan Smith. Brilliantly read by Alex Walker. The Broncos are back in it. And what a play it was in the first place with Jordan Abdul's brilliant 40-20. What a game we have on our hands.
Well, the foot soldiers will do their work, but the key players in any side need to come up with players like this. Jordan Abdul kicks a 40-20, gets them out of trouble. And then what about this for a play? Morgan Smith, well, you think that he's blown a chance there when he doesn't give it to G. And that looked like the harder play to put on. He kicks the ball forward for Walker, instead of giving him the little pass. He was on his shoulder. And certainly, this is the way that Danny Ward would want his side to respond.
It is about the unorthodox, isn't it, for London Broncos? They're not afraid to try things. Harvey Levett, Morgan Smith, ex-Warrington Academy players together.
Kieran Dixon with an important kick for the London Broncos. And it's back to a 4-point ball game. Well, we hoped, and they've delivered. Both teams have delivered. Cracking game.
Well, London scored tries that you'd almost see if children were playing in the back garden with improvisational play. Look, I'm held, I can't make any progress. Kick it through for my brother or sister. That's what he's done here. Walker's gone through and scored again, and we've got a fascinating battle to report the last 20+ minutes.
Well taken by Fozzard. It was superbly read, wasn't it, by Walker? It was as if he knew exactly what Smith was going to do.
Well, it seemed to be the big play, didn't it, from Morgan Smith? And Morgan Smith's mind was made up when Josh Drinkwater jumped the line. He flew in, tried to close him down. Stays in position, holds his line. I'm sure that everything's okay for Hull KR.
Move, Dan! Wait.
Well, a London win would take them off the bottom of Super League for the first time in 3 months. It would take them above Leeds Rhinos. A Hull KR win would do the same. It would take them above Leeds, who face that huge test at St Helens live on Sky Sports on Friday night, of course. On the last here, more of a spring in the step for the London Broncos. Smith goes high. And that's a good take again from Shaw, but a terrific chase.
Again to that corner, they abandoned kicking it high to Adam Quinlan. They're going to that corner. There must be some method in this tactic, and I'm sure we'll see it unfold the next half hour or so. Quality game.
And that was a bit of a gamble from Hall, right in front of his own post, but tackle count is wide clean. Rovers get away with it. They have another step, but look at the chase, look at the defence again from London, right up in the faces of those Hull Kingston Rovers forwards.
First. Move!
Murray smashed to the ground.
Go first.
Yates involved, as he always is, unsung hero, but that you mentioned is one of the top tacklers in Super League, Luke Yates.
And every one of them hurt you as well. They're not passive tackles.
Atkin, this is good from Rovers again, trying to get the ball out. I think Ben Crooks it was, who took one gamble too many. That was always going to be tough for Craig Hall, and what good field position this is going to be for London Broncos.
Well, there was a shot Tommy Lee behind one of the play the balls, and he's urging his team to come onto the ball. Obviously, London are hitting hard, and Ben Crooks is trying to play outside of London. Solid in the defence.
We need a ball.
In that set of 6, and he just couldn't get that ball away.
Just getting a hurry up there. Rhys Williams, the scrum clock counts down to 4. There is Smith and Walker again. Ryan Morgan. Morgan's nearly through. Good defence had to be from Kay Linnett. Dixon trying to play the ball quickly. Krasnicki back on for the Broncos.
Back, George. Wait.
Fozzard. Juggle caught by Smith, and Abdul trying to find a way through, and Pitts, what a tackle that was. Ben Crooks made the error, but he made the tackle. The run this time from Ioane, close to the try line. They've hit back superbly, haven't they, London? Abdul again with a little kick through, chases on, Pitts was there, but so was the Rovers captain Joel Tompkins. Was smart, very smart to the challenge of Jordan Abdul.
Well, he mixes up his game, doesn't he, Jordan Abdul? He goes for the little dab through for Jay Pitts. He's obviously got some support over on the left-hand side with 3 players pushing up, so for defenders, they don't know how to play and adjust against the skills that Jordan Abdul's got.
Shot clock off, time back on.
Craig Hall with the kick. Picked up on the bounce by Smith. Dixon. Strong runner.
Elusive runner.
Yeah. Dangerous runner, as we've seen many times this season. Krasnicki. They've responded really well, haven't they, the Broncos? Those 2 quick tries at the start of the second half for Rovers. Fozzard now, loose pass, picked up on the bounce by Walker. Jolly on the spot, as he has been throughout this game. Approaching the hour mark here in Ealing. Smith looks for a way through. Looks for the offload, but well read by Livette for Hull Kingston Rovers. Fozzard again. And Krasnicki right in front of the post. Right, last tackle. Surely it's going to go to Abdul, or it comes to the right-hand side to Smith instead. Either or, they say, either or, and it was well taken, was it? It was dropped, I think. Well, who did it come off?
Yeah, Kieran Dixon.
It came off Kieran Dixon, so respite for Rovers, a tap on the 20.
Kick to that corner again. They must feel like Ryan Shaw in a straight-out competition. Kieran Dixon, such an athletic player. He will have good bounce, and you can see with the power in those legs will be able to jump relatively high, but they didn't get the result on that occasion, but they seemed determined to persevere with it.
Tommy Lee playing for his 8th Super League club, would you believe? Out of favour under Tim Sheens, but very much in favour under Tony Smith. Mossy Masoi, man-mountain Mossy. And he really has been. Grand final winner with St Helens.
He's bang on the referee there, bang on.
Yeah, absolutely. Throughout his career, he's been prone to mistakes, Mossy.
Well, what he's done, he's been in a battle of strength there, and he's got players holding the ball. This will show us here. Jay Pitts, he's on the ball, and Mossy Masoi, he's not got a grip on it, not got a full control of it, and just pulls his hands away. And it's a shame, Mossy Masoi, when he's come up and his side have been defending their own line, he's got up quick on that first receiver. And the 6s and the 7s, the Smiths and Abduls of this world will think twice if he's in the defensive line.
Elliot Keir for the London Broncos. Approaching the hour mark then. It's going to be a nail-biter for sure. So much at stake, you wouldn't have it any other way. Fozzard finds Abdul. That's a running play. But he was nearly through, wasn't he? Luke Yates, one off the training ground. Abdul again puts the kick over, the chase on for Dixon. Shaw will try and read it. On the ball, he bounced, and has Abdul managed to get his hand on the ball? The bobbling ball. Was it an error from Ryan Shaw? Is it a try for Jordan Abdul?
I have no try.
Stuart Hess did a little push in the back.
Just check to see if the whole KR player grounds it.
And then when he's trying to get to the line, you've got London players pushing up. It's the third player that Jordan Abdul kicks the ball on.
Well, Ben Thaler will have a look.
As all KR are defending, is there a little shove in the back? Again, it's a good kick. He spots that space behind the defensive line, Jordan Abdul. Kieran Dixon is aware of it. Shaw's going for the ball. Is there a little push in the back? So I think there's a push in the back there on Shaw.
Yeah, can't disagree with that.
He can't stop running though, can he?
But it's the arms that come up, Phil. If you look at it the way his arms go now, he's got his arms up, and then all of a sudden there's a push for me.
Well, it depends if he's actually in possession of the ball. He's allowed to push him if he's in possession of the ball. If he's not in possession, then he can't. You can see there.
He's in possession.
Well, he's probably in possession at that point. So I think that's probably a fair contest at that point.
It's a big call, whatever it really is at this stage of the game.
It's a try for me.
I think the video referee's trying to see whether there's in possession of the ball. That's when the contact's made, so I think it's play on from that position. So it all depends on who's grounding the ball.
Well, I think they definitely do ground the ball there.
Jordan Abdul.
Shoot through Jordan Abdul. Well, the way that they got up, they were celebrating.
Is it? Oh, it looks like... Is it Quinlan?
Quinlan.
Is it Abdul? Is it the same time? Exactly the same time.
Well, if it's at the same time, it'll be a try. Simultaneous grounding is a try.
Wow.
So I reckon I've changed my mind about 3 times here. Try, no try, try, no try, and I'm going to say no try, and Quinlan gets it first. So that means it'll be a try.
Well, it is a matter of millimetres, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Here we
And
go.
milliseconds.
Here we go.
This will be the one.
Still not any clearer.
What was it sent upstairs there, Stuart?
No try.
Well, I would give that as a try. Simultaneous grounding.
Here's the super zoom.
Used to be the benefit of the doubt in the old days, the attacking teams. We want to see tries in the game.
Well, it was sent up as a no try. You have to remember that. So the video referee has to be, have sufficient evidence to say that that's a simultaneous or it's grounded first by the Broncos to award it. I think it should be a try.
And it is a try, according to Ben Thaler. And what a time to score it. What a time. 8 tries in the last 5 games for Jordan Abdul. He scored 4 in a game against Wakefield, but that is a huge, huge try. And we're level. And Kieran Dixon now with the opportunity to put London back in front. They led 8-0. 3 unanswered tries for Hull KR. 18 unanswered points for Hull Kingston Rovers. Midway between touch and the sticks, and it's a terrific kick from Kieran Dixon. What a match we've got here, and it's London back in front by 2.
Well, I've heard an expression during the week. Danny Ward has assembled a band of brothers. They look out for each other. It doesn't matter what the scoreboard says, they are still there for each other. The commitment in the chase, it's a nasty bouncing, bobbling ball, but Kieran Dixon and Ryan Shaw, they have a rare old contest, and the man who put the kick in chases up hard, chases up strong, and scores the try. And we saw a good image there, some good footage. So Mossima saw he drops the ball. They target him, they drag him away from the ruck. An inside ball means that he's grasping, he doesn't control the tackle, and then from that point on, the Broncos are on the front foot.
It's a good point that Stuart makes as well, because it doesn't happen, or it happens very, very rarely, and it's a rule that some people may not be aware of, that simultaneous touching, it actually goes with the attacking
Let
team.
me just stop you there, Stuart. You'll have to say that. Do not never say it's a good point that Stuart Cummings made. Never, ever.
That's once a season. Barry, once a season. Good
a
kick
decade.
from Morgan Smith. But not many people would know the rule because it doesn't happen very often. So it's a huge call, whatever, and it's Rovers leading with 18 minutes to go. London in front, rather, by 20 points to 18 after being 18-8.
Nice kick from Morgan Smith, wasn't it? He's done a decent job along with his other half-back partner in Jordan Abdul, who set up the try for the kick, set up the previous try with a 40-20 as well.
Well, massive game tonight, massive game tomorrow. The leaders looking to extend their lead at the top against Leeds, who are desperate to produce some magic and come up with a win, because they could be under pressure. They will be under pressure, whatever the result here. 7 o'clock, Sky Sports Arena. And then Catalan against Hull FC. More from the Betfred Super League. Sky Sports action for that one at 5 o'clock. 17 minutes to go. Where's your 10p?
I have absolutely no idea, but what I'm recognising from Hull KR is they're going to the edge. They keep trying to find that extra attacking player.
Oh, Livette through. Lovely little sidestep through G, through Morgan. Terrific there from Livette. And Rovers now trying to hit back. Well, that came off Quinlan. Did it go backwards, said the referee. Play on, is it? No, it's not. It's a knock-on against Adam Quinlan. Jay Pitt challenged for the ball. So another handling error from Hull Kingston Rovers. 2 points in it, 16 and a bit minutes to go.
There was some pressure then, wasn't there, from the London Broncos defenders, Jay Pitt and Jordan Abdul, forcing the mistake, getting in the eye line, the Hull KR player. Livette goes through, he's looking to one of his teammates, I think it's Shaw, who cuts in field, he can't get the ball to him, he takes the tackle.
Let's go, loose.
But London Broncos put enough players in the frame, even though there's a line break. Harvey Livette doesn't find the pass because there are black shirts in the way.
I'll just throw this into the mix. The last time that London played here, it went all the way to golden point extra time.
Yeah, well, they have the energy. Well, both sides have the energy.
Back, go to.
The Tony Smith factor will surely make a difference for Hull Kingston Rovers. Can he be the man with the Midas touch? It's all about the next 3 months or so, keeping Rovers in Super League, and the same could be said for Danny Ward and his band of brothers, as Barry calls them. Here is one of their players of the season, Luke Yates, another one who's rumoured to be going elsewhere next year, but what a season he's had for London. Abdul with the kick through, and again, that's a brilliant set from the London Broncos.
I think what's fascinating now is to look at Hull KR's body language. We see the kick again, a quality one, and the blue shirts now just walking back here to set for this scrum. You don't see a lot of talk, a lot of positivity. Maybe there's some anxiety and nerves there, and I do think they need to demonstrate some energy here amongst themselves.
The game plan's changed for London now, hasn't it? Kicking the ball off the field, now they can't think and have the mental approach that they've got to defend that lead. Tony Smith, James Webster will know that just 2 points behind, that they're still well and truly in this game, and I think there's only Jimmy Carnos that we haven't seen enter the field yet. The only player that's not come onto the field for either side. They've all used the subs apart from Hull KR.
That's a wild pass from Atkin, and it was well done by Quinlan, who's up there challenging.
You're forcing those passes because of the strong defence.
Ben Crooks.
Third, move, G!
Still plenty of time, 14 minutes to go. London leading by 20 points to 18. After Rovers made that fantastic start to the second half, and another loose pass, but it's picked up well. The strength that Kay Linnett has, the offload again. The run from Lewis Johnson.
I can't help thinking about Tony Smith's message to his side. Use the ball, play more.
Oh, that's a good pass from Lee. Linnett with the offload. Now then, Drinkwater. Drinkwater go to the far side, gets away from Elliot Keir, but again, who's there making the challenge? Jordan Abdul, who's been involved in everything. Don't forget Abdul, who's going back to play for Hull Kingston Rovers in 2020, but he's been magnificent for London tonight.
That's excellent kick pressure. Is it Eddie Batty? That ball goes sky high, but it
goes
goes
backwards,
forward.
and now it's picked up on the fly by Massey G. Well, If they'd been one of the backs, Rovers may well have been in trouble there. They may still be in trouble as Rhys Williams looked to find a way through.
Well, you've got to be first to the breakdown, and Matty G was on that occasion. This London side looked like they've got more energy. Eddie Batty onto the field. Another substitute, Rob Butler back onto the field again. So there's some power now in the middle.
Smith inside.
Move, go line!
For Mason, Matty Fozzard it is.
Go for.
It's 10 metres away. Here is Rob Butler, charges forward. Mossy Masoi.
Move! Go,
Mulhern in with the tackle. Fozzard looks to go on his own. But they were smart. They were through to it on the last. Maybe a wasted opportunity there for London.
You could see the reaction from his teammate Morgan Smith with his hands out at the side of him. They wanted to kick the ball. They wanted to force another set of 6 close to the line, but at the end of the day, they turned the ball over 2 metres from the line. What's their attitude like here in defence?
Pitts with the tackle, the London captain.
Wait, go to. Eddie Batty, 10 metres.
You could hear Chris Kendall there telling Eddie Batty to get back.
Because they're so keen to get up, restrict those metres. Just looking at the energy in the blue shirts now. Joe Tompkins first to carry. They've hardly made 20 metres since
Good
then.
tackle on Lynette there. Manages to get the ball out, but Ryan Morgan against Kane Lynette. Quinlan. Livette. Masoi. Good run from Mossy Masoi, nearly up to halfway, but it is already at the last. Tommy Lee and little dink over the top from Drinkwater. Well read by Kieran Dixon, who's dangerous in this position if he can get a head of steam on, but a terrific tackle from Joel Tompkins to stop the steam train that is Kieran Dixon in his tracks.
A lot of push now is what needed, and support from London as we enter the final 10 minutes. The likes of Eddie Batty, those one-up carries, there's got to be somebody with him on his shoulder, otherwise he's going to be dominated like that, which means it's going to be a slower play the ball.
Surrender!
Well, the battle for survival to stay in Super League is absolutely intriguing, and it's going to go all the way, and it's going to go the distance. Here's Rob Butler. London's last 3 matches are Hull Kingston Rovers, Leeds and Wakefield.
Outside, not played out.
Well, that wasn't played at, but Pitts manages to get the ball, and then Abdul looking for a way through, and it's picked up by Adam Quinlan, so all's well that ends well for Hull Kingston Rovers.
Wait, go on.
New South Wales against Queensland, the Women's State of Origin tomorrow at 20 to 11 on Sky Sports Arena. And on Sunday from Perth, the new stadium in Perth, Queensland, New South Wales. Game 2 of the Origin, Queensland 1 up, of course. And that's at 10 o'clock on Sky Sports Arena on Sunday.
Well, they look like they're setting up on the left-hand side here.
Livette.
Last. Move! Come on, Lou. Come on, Lou.
Last tackle. 2 points in it. 9 and a bit minutes to go. Drinkwater. Pressure on Walker here. Walker goes up for it. It's tapped back.
Called him offside,
Called him offside, yeah.
Harvey Livette has now said something, or somebody has said something in frustration. And it's a real battle of endurance, this, isn't it, as we enter the last 9 minutes or so. He was called offside, whether he is or he isn't. I quite clearly heard him from here, so you can bet the Hull KR players would have heard him. And then to back that mistake up, gobbing off to the referee.
Something you never did.
I didn't have the energy, Stuart. I didn't say anything.
Oh, what a fantastic game we've had. We've been built up as one of the big games of the season. And the players haven't let us down. Real rich rugby league entertainment.
Well, so much at stake. You need to beat the teams around you.
Smith from dummy half.
Good run. He or Abdul key here now to 6 more points, which they need here to settle the nerves of the home fans.
Well, if they get another try and a goal, is it too much for Hull Kingston Rovers, I wonder? Abdul, and it's intercepted! Now the chance for Ben Crooks! Ben Crooks could go the distance here! Williams chases back, he gets the ball out to Hall! Hall is caught! Back it goes inside for Atkin. Crooks didn't quite have the legs! Well, London survive, but for how long? But for how long? They're still trying to get back into the defensive line. Here is Levett.
But more importantly, Stuart, all the London Broncos players are back. Back already.
Well, when Crooks got that ball, we thought he was going to go the length of the field as Mulhern is brought down. Well, key moment, it could be a massive moment in this match. Goes out to Atkin, charge there from Tompkins, tries to get the ball out, it's bobbling along. Rovers come up with the error, and Rhys Williams comes up for the save again. It was Williams with the tackle on Hall after the breakaway by Crooks, and Williams who reacts first.
It was just brilliant effort from all the team. Whether it was Morgan Smith or Rhys Williams or Alex Walker that gets back, then it's always the big fellas. But look at this. Walker gets to Craig Hall. It's still not done then. Hull KR looking to shift the ball, and now they get the penalty. This will certainly help them take the time here with the penalty. Just buy a few more seconds.
Yes, it was on effort, as we see the penalty again, the rip ball and shortcut from Tommy Lee, but it was also intelligence. We talked in the first half about Joel Tompkins giving the inside ball. He will watch the break. Ben Crooks goes for the interception, and over to his left you can see Kieran Dixon. He's just out of shot. He tries to find Craig Hall, another one of the fastest men on the field. But look at the Broncos players, back, ready in position.
Magnificent game this has been. Eddie Batty. London leading by 2. 6 minutes to go in a game that come the end of the season may well go a long way to deciding the destiny of both these teams. We shall see. Cunningham and Abdul with a little dummy trying to go through the gap. It was well read, it had to be well read. Crooks in there and Atkin. The clock is ticking. London are where they need to be. Cunningham now. And Batty. Batty for Butler. Butler on the charge. Butler goes for the line. Can't get the ball down, or can he? Miraculously, as Rob Butler managed to get the ball down, there were 6 Rovers players hanging off him. Oh, Rob Butler, he may have won it for the Broncos.
Well, get off the bench and give me some impact. He did that with his defence, and I tell you what, he had to ride a tackle from Harvey Levett here. When he picked his line and he was trying to get over the try line, Harvey Levett hit him with absolutely everything. But the power of the young prop forward, does he manage to get the ball down over the try line? If he did, with the commitment that the Broncos have shown in the final 15 minutes here, you'd say that they'd go on to win this game. Been sent upstairs as a try from Chris Kendall, and this is a try.
Kieran!
Well, Quinlan was there, Levett was there, Danny Ward waiting for the decision. And here it is. Rob Butler is the hero of the London Broncos, who look to be on their way to a 3rd straight win, who look to be on their way up the table, off the bottom.
Well, don't tell me or Danny Ward that you need to be born and bred in Rugby League heartlands, South Yorkshire. That's where the pass came from. Eddie Batty passes to his fellow front rower, Rob Butler, Medway Dragon, who scores the try.
Well, he hasn't scored in 26 games. Rob Butler for the London Broncos. And Dixon puts over the extras, and Rovers have got less than 5 minutes to find 2 tries.
Well, they've scored 18 unanswered points. I don't know who's responsible for the fitness and stamina of this London Broncos side, but he's done a remarkable job. Firstly, for the recovery and defence to get his players back on side and prevent Hull KR from scoring with that interception, and then to get to the other end of the field here. The Hull KR side have attempted a short restart. It hasn't travelled the 10 metres.
Well, what's Chris Kendall going to say here? Who did the ball come off?
It's gone 10.
It's gone 10.
It's gone 10 and it's come back and it's come off the Hull Kingston Rovers player.
Well, Haraki it is, Stuart.
Yeah, it is. Well, Rob Butler, it is a first ever try for the London Broncos. In the first half, Morgan Smith with the first ever try for the London Broncos. Yes, it did come off Wella Haraki. But we saw Hull KR score 18 unanswered points to hit the front, and we've seen London hit back with 18 unanswered points to surely clinch this.
Well, Danny Ward and his team said that they were going to come up into Super League and rattle a few cages. Well, they've certainly done that.
Well, Barry McDermott will be choosing our Betfred man of the match. There's a lot of candidates, so we'll be giving him a minute or two to muse over that. Here is Batty. 4 minutes to go.
It was a nice play as well from him to tip the ball on to Rob Butler, who scored the try. Again, it's a big team effort from London.
We're talking about 3 wins on the spin. It's also going to be 4 in the last 5 for London.
And the one that they lost was at Magic by just 2 points to Leeds Rhinos.
Yeah. What a performance, and Cunningham's through. Cunningham looking to round it off in style. And he scored one just like that when the Broncos beat St Helens here, and Abdul inside and goal.
Wella
Haraki with a huge hit.
Oh, it was on the try scorer, Rob Butler. Have a little look at that. Well, we've had some shots in this game, haven't we?
And every one of them legal. They've been shoulder in, full commitment. Wella Haraki trying to find something from somewhere, and his side have a long way to go. Jimmy Kynors, the latest player on the ball.
Well, Toronto and Toulouse battling for a place in Super League. What a huge game that is going to be, live from Toronto. Is that a mistake? Is that a mistake? No, it's not. He's taking the ball. Butler stealing the ball in the tackle, but with 2.5 minutes to go, surely there's no way back for Hull Kingston Rovers. Craig Hall with a monster kick, but they do need the proverbial miracle now, Rovers.
Well, if there is a way back, they've got to score in this set of 6.
Yeah, absolutely. Quinlan, Kane Lynette, and of course this result will mean that Rovers go to the bottom of Super League. Here is Mulhern. Right, man of the match, Barry.
Some outstanding performers, but you can't go past the guy that's passed, kicked, ran, took defences on. Jordan Abdul is my Betfred man of the match.
Well, Abdul, of course, is heading back to Hull Kingston Rovers for 2020. Signed for Tony Smith's side. Little run, little shimmy.
Oh, has he got it?
Could be a try. It could be a try there for Drinkwater, and it is. He just managed to wriggle out of the tackle there. Josh Drinkwater. We've got a bit of assist as well.
Time off.
It means a lot, that's for sure.
Well, there's so much at stake, isn't there? There's livelihoods here for players. They don't want to be relegated into the Championship.
Come away.
And you can
Josh
see
Drinkwater.
Jay Pitt,
Jordan Abdul, leave him alone.
the captain of the London Broncos side, a man who's always heavily involved, leads by example. The try scorer, big Rob Butler.
Behind the line.
He might only be 21 years of age, but he's not scared of anybody. He's a huge man. And the referee straight away, Chris Kendall, taking control, splitting the players along with his touch judges.
Well, crucially, whatever the try has been awarded, Josh Drinkwater has scored for Hull Kingston Rovers, and Ryan Shaw will put over the conversion, and it will be 26 points to 24.
I understand the magnitude of the game and what is at stake. Josh, look at me, please. Josh, look at me. However, if you do that again, you take the control of the game out of my hands. Josh, take the control of the game out of my hands. You will be sat down over there. Jay Pitts!
Well, that's telling him.
Jay Pitts! Come here.
I think he's going to speak to both players.
Yeah.
Didn't like the attention he got. Josh Drinkwater, Jay Pitts.
Okay, I'm going to tell you the
sticking
same
up for
thing
his
that I just told
teammates.
them. I understand the magnitude of the game and what is at stake. However, if you take the control of the game out of my hands, Jay, stand up, please.
No, I'm listening, sorry.
If you take the control of the game out of my hands again, then you will be sat down over there. Okay?
78 minutes, he's run his blood to water
Time back
and he's
on.
being asked to stand up. Stand up while I shout at you.
Well, he's been told he
can't breathe,
He
the
can
lad.
go and sit down if he wants.
I don't know, I think I'd go for a sit down.
One of the consequences of his actions is that the clock was stopped as soon as that try was scored. And the clock is stopped again now because it's in the last 5 minutes. So getting involved in that scuffle has probably cost London Broncos a bit of time in this game.
And that's what I said. They needed to score shooting in that set of 6. They did that. Yeah, passions are running high. Drinkwater wanting to get that ball converted. Jay Pitts taking exception to it. And what a last minute and a half we've got in this game, and there certainly was going to be a lot of passion on show from both sides. Jordan Abdul kicks that ball long.
And high, taken by Quinlan. So here it is. Rovers have 1 minute and 20 seconds to find one of the plays of the season. Mulhern.
Move, James!
Big discipline set of 6 here for London Broncos.
Play on, still two.
Nervous, edgy. Quinlan picks it up. Don't forget, we have got the option. A penalty for Rovers, and we go to Golden Point.
Third old penalty if you're going to kick it from there.
Still 3.
Here is Ben Crooks throwing caution to the wind. This is going to be, has to be Harlem Globetrotter Rugby League for the next 45 seconds or so for Hull Kingston Rovers.
Fine, space.
Lynette, oh, well taken by Shaw. Crunching tackle again. And it's that man, Luke Yates. Drinkwater, oh, he was nearly through. Ball comes out, and that could be it. It's pounced on. It's pounced on there by Luke Yates. And that looks like the game for the London Broncos. What a performance, and Dixon's through. Dixon looks to go right down the middle. Tony Smith is going to suffer an agonising defeat here. And Jordan Abdul, the man of the match, is all wrapped up, and it's 3 wins on the spin. Huge celebrations for the London Broncos. They are off the bottom of Super League for the first time in 3 months. They've got above Hull Kingston Rovers, they've got above the Leeds Rhinos, and they have given themselves a heck of a chance of surviving in Super League.
Well, that's character from both sides. Tony Smith's men responding, getting back, and it was a nervous end, wasn't it? And Jordan Abdul, he went into this game and people questioned it. What would his integrity be like? He's already signed for Hull KR next year. His performance got Barry's vote for man of the match. He was tremendous in the game. And you just look at what it meant to the players with just over a minute to go in the game, and the way they tore into each other for 80 minutes. I thought it was a good example of rugby league.
And I know this is about